All right, Al, thank you. The war in Afghanistan is about to enter its 12th year, and while the drawdown of U.S. troops is making headlines, so is the dramatic rise in so-called insider attacks. NBC's Lester Holt is in Kabul this morning, where he talked to the top commander of U.S. and coalition troops there. Lester, good morning to you.
Savannah, good morning. This is a critical juncture in this war. There are 33,000 fewer U.S. troops here now that the surge is over. And as the U.S. hands over more and more combat operations to Afghan forces, these infiltrators who are carrying out insider attacks are raising lots of questions about the future of the war. Questions I put to General John Allen in an exclusive interview this morning.
The nature of this campaign is not ultimately for us to defeat the Taliban. The nature of this campaign is for us to give the Afghan National Security Forces the wherewithal ultimately to create security in this country so that governance can take root, the rule of law can be embraced, and economic opportunity and development can move forward.
You are at a critical moment, and yet, as you know, this has been a horrible year for insider attacks. The very people that you're training to take over this mission are in some cases turning their weapons against American and other coalition forces. Can that go on, and how do you prevent that from undermining your mission?
This has my full attention. We're going to work as hard as we possibly can, around the clock, to understand the problem, and I think we've got a good grip on it now, and to work very closely with our Afghan partners to eliminate this threat. See, the Taliban, in infiltrating the ranks of the ANSF, recognize that this is an opportunity for them to try to split us apart. We're going to work very hard to prevent that from happening.
I mean, if a soldier has to sleep with one eye open because he's afraid someone's going to shoot him in the middle of the night, doesn't that undermine the whole cohesion of a unit, of a military?
It does. And we've got to work very hard to eliminate that threat, to understand the threat and to eliminate that threat. The Taliban seek to infiltrate the ANSF, the Afghan National Security Forces. We know that. And we know that we'll see that manifest itself either as an infiltration, an impersonation, or someone who's coerced, or even someone who is potentially in the ranks, but is susceptible to the Taliban propaganda, the Taliban narrative.
General, I think a lot of military families will be listening very carefully to your answer to my next question, and that is, you will soon make recommendations to the President about troop levels going forward, 2013, 2014. Do you expect to bring more troops home in the coming year?
Probably, yes. And the nature of the recommendation will be sometime before the end of this calendar year. I'll evaluate the nature of the insurgency. I'll evaluate the progress that we have made with the Afghan National Security Forces. We'll look at the operational environment we think we will face in 2013. And the combination of all of those will permit me to make a recommendation.
Are you prepared to give us a hint as to how far you may want to drop the level?
Not yet, no, because we really need to look at how the Afghans have come this year, how far they've come.
Would you expect U.S. combat operations, if even only in a special forces, special operations role, to continue past 2014?
Well, the intent is that our relationship will be a training and advising relationship. The war, for all intents and purposes, ends on the 31st of December, 2014.
General Allen admits they were caught off guard by the sophistication of a Taliban attack against a base here a couple of weeks ago that killed two U.S. Marines and destroyed 6 fighter jets. He says the Taliban will likely carry out attacks after the U.S. withdrawal, but he has great confidence in the ability of the newly trained Afghan forces, Savannah, to repel any further attacks.
Lester, I'll take it, and we'll have more of your reporting throughout the week from Afghanistan on Today and NBC Nightly News. Lester, thank you.